At one point I had really high hopes for Retribution, but every week on Monday Night Raw, things are becoming very, very annoying. Honestly, I don't even know at this point if I'm even excited anymore. They keep changing their approach to what they're doing with this faction. First, they invade SmackDown and Raw. Now they're exclusive to Raw. And by the way, WWE has announced that Retribution has officially signed their contracts and they can do whatever the hell they want, which is really odd considering the fact that Retribution has been doing whatever the hell they want. But now we have a new identity to Retribution, and we're going to talk about it because, quite honestly, I have no hope. If you guys want to subscribe to this channel, it's very appreciated. This channel is where you could get the latest and greatest in pro wrestling news, rumors, and all of that good stuff. But most importantly, I'm going to bring you guys my off-the-wall opinions on everything that's happening in WWE, AEW, and so forth. And I got to be honest with you guys, with pro wrestling, now is the time to subscribe because of the pandemic. Things have been very, very interesting. Things are constantly changing on the fly, and now there is more news than ever. So here at Destination PW, I'm going to do my best to bring you guys my personal opinions and feelings towards what's going on. And guys, we have to start with Retribution. Just a few weeks ago, I made a video talking about Retribution. I actually had some praise for the group and I had some praise for the WWE, but also at the same time too, I had my reservations, and quite honestly, it was rightfully so. If you take a look at what WWE did with Retribution today on Monday Night Raw, you would totally understand why. We finally have identity, as you guys saw on the thumbnail, and of course this photo that we have on the screen here. Things look like WWE just doesn't know what they're doing. It definitely seems like WWE doesn't know what they're doing here, and I think it's because WWE really had no plans in place with Retribution. And I hate to be the Debbie Downer. I hate to be the negative Nancy. I hate to be one of those guys on YouTube that is just bashing WWE here, but I have to be honest and tell you guys that I'm just simply not a fan of what WWE is doing here. And it comes down to one thing. In reality, it comes down to consistency. This is a problem that's happening in pro wrestling, and it's not just WWE. AEW, Impact, all the companies right now are struggling to be consistent. But WWE in this situation is the one that probably is the most notable, because I think it was very apparent with the idea of WWE hiding the identity for so long. We really didn't know who was going to be in the group. Now we know. Dominic Dijakovic, Brendan Williams, a.k.a. Dio Madden, Mia Yim, Mercedes Martinez, Shane Thorne. These are the NXT call-ups that have been moved to Monday Night Raw. And I really don't know how I feel. Like, on one hand, WWE is booking something very cool with the Hurt Business and Retribution. But then I also start to scratch my head because the Hurt Business is a very cool group. I've even gone pretty far with a comparison to Evolution, which some people agree, some people disagree, but I think there is something very special with the Hurt Business. And WWE is pretty much booking themselves into a corner like they always do, because Retribution is supposed to be a big threat in WWE. The Hurt Business is supposed to be the new cool group that pretty much doesn't take shit from anybody. And it looks like this is the direction that WWE is going to go when it comes to both groups. So both groups here really cannot afford to lose here. But with Retribution, I think the biggest problem is that WWE's never had a plan, and it clearly shows. The new look with the face masks and everything like that, to me, is just silly. It's really, really silly, and I absolutely hate it. And I feel like this was a weird change that WWE made for really no reason. At the end of the day, they could have just had them unmask with the ski masks. They could have a, kind of like a Nexus approach, everybody in unison with attire and stuff like that. But they didn't do that. Instead, everybody's wearing some sort of different mask. Mia Yim and Mercedes Martinez are wearing the same mask. I just don't know if I could take this serious. And that is the biggest problem here with Retribution. We know who is a member of Retribution because these face masks show us what's being done and what's being shown. So these new masks have pretty much revealed the identity, but I just can't get over the fact that WWE is continuing to do this thing where they have an idea that could be so big and have so much potential, and then the first thing that they do is just screw it up. Like, Retribution was having a hard time gaining traction with the WWE universe. Without crowds in attendance, piping in the negative crowd noise, it just doesn't sell the believability aspect of this group. It's not like Nexus, it's not like the Shield. And those two groups had really great debuts. So why is Retribution this way? Why is WWE struggling here? Yes, you could blame the pandemic. Yes, you could blame a lot of stuff, but there is no chemistry between these people in this group. This group doesn't make sense, in my opinion, when you look at the people in this group. And when you look at this image right here on the screen, right? You guys see this image? It's like a Bane knockoff. It just doesn't work for me. The contacts, the face paint on the head, it just doesn't work for me. This is laughable. This is stupidity. This is failure at its finest. I don't know if they can do anything different with Retribution at this point. For months and months and months, we've really seen nothing. And it sucks. I thought they were going to get the Eric Rowan treatment. You guys remember when WWE had Eric Rowan come out with a cage every week, literally for months and months? And WWE did absolutely nothing in this situation. They did nothing. They dropped it. There was no plan. This is not the first time this has happened, guys. WWE is struggling with long-term storylines, and I get it. WWE is all about creating moments versus superstars. A lot of people say in this day and age there's not going to be a new John Cena or The Rock or whatever it may be, but I think there's not going to be another variant of those gentlemen until WWE understands that, yes, while the moments are cool, having a nice retention rate without dropping viewership on a weekly basis, it's all about having good writing and drawing people back to the show. This is not drawing people back to the show. This, to me, shows that WWE has no idea what they're doing. And because they don't know what they're doing, it makes me scared. It makes me scared for WWE because whether or not you like AEW, their viewership continues to grow. If they have no competition on Wednesday nights, it will continue to grow. WWE is the number one pro wrestling company in the world, and they're doing very, very well as a company, financially, all of that good stuff. But creatively, they're not doing so well. This right here is a big part of that. I literally don't know what to say at this point with Retribution. Like, it had so much potential. But WWE sometimes just doesn't know what they're doing. I want to say that I want to give this a chance. But I said this before. I just don't know how many more chances I can give. From the beginning till now, nothing has made sense about this group. There's nothing intimidating about this group. It's been the longest slow burn that I've seen in a really long time with WWE. And it was very evident with WWE not revealing the identities for so long. With WWE not really crafting a good creative storyline for these guys. It was apparent that WWE was just throwing things together. I mean, Mercedes Martinez was not part of the group originally. Everybody knows that she was doing a program on NXT. Now she has a restraining order with Robert Stone, and all of a sudden she's in WWE's Retribution group. Yeah, this is literally where we are in WWE. A big WTF moment, guys. This is Retribution. We know the members. We know what they look like. Their look is atrocious. Nothing memorable about this. I hate to bury stuff on YouTube, but man, maybe next week I'll have a different opinion. I want to know what you guys think of this group. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Follow me on Twitter at AngoPW, and I'll see you guys next time.